What's up, Brave Kids? It's Pastor Tara here, and I am ready for us to get into the lesson. But before we do, let's go over our memory verse. Ready? Repeat after me. Put up with one another. Forgive one another if you are holding something against someone. Forgive just as the Lord forgave you. Colossians 3:13. We are in week 2 of our series, and our Bible story is found in Luke 19, 1 through 10. We find Jesus interacting with an unexpected person. His name was Zaccheaus. He was a tax collector working for Rome. He earned a reputation for taking advantage of his fellow Jewish people. Zaccheaus was considered an outcast by many. So he must have been super shocked when Jesus asked to come over to his home for a meal. When Zaccheaus encountered Jesus, he changed. He went back to the people he had cheated and returned 4 times as much money as he took from them. When you forgive others, it can change them. It's time to worship. Let's show God how much we love him by praising him together.
Yeah. Come on. Let's go. I know I'm gonna make mistakes in this life I live, but you never leave me. You forgive. I won't always get it right. It's alright, 'cause no matter what I do, I'm always loved by you. In the morning time, I'm gonna sing. God, you make me smile when you're doing your thing. I'm thankful for the way you set me free and all of the ways that you love me. I know I'm gonna make mistakes in this life I live, but you never leave me. You forgive. I won't always get it right. It's alright, 'cause no matter what I do, no matter what, I'm always loved by you. In the morning time, I'm gonna sing. God, you make me smile when you're doing your thing. I'm thankful for the way you set me free and all of the ways that you love me. In the morning time, I'm gonna sing. God, you make me smile when you're doing your thing. I'm thankful for the way you set me free and all of the ways that you love me. Let's take 'em to the bridge. God, you're never giving up on me. God, your love is all I'll ever need. You're all that we need. In the morning time, I'm gonna sing. God, you make me smile when you're doing your thing. I'm thankful for the way you set me free and all of the ways that you love me. In the morning time, I'm gonna sing. God, you make me smile when you're doing your thing. I'm thankful for the way you set me free. Yes, we are. And all of the ways that you love me. I'm thankful for the way you set me free. And all of the ways that you love me. Sing it again. And all of the ways that you love me.
So there. I can't send that. Delete, delete, delete. Oh, hey. Welcome to Story Lab. This week, we're talking about forgiveness while we take a look at the story of someone who found a higher perspective.
Hey, I'm Carter.
And I'm Zeke.
We're talking about forgiveness, which is deciding that someone who has wronged you doesn't have to pay.
Spoiler alert, there is money in today's story.
A handful of pennies is not really a lot of money.
That's what you think. These pennies could buy a lot in 1950.
That's what I thought.
In 1950, a loaf of bread cost 12 cents, a comic book cost 10 cents, and a candy bar cost 5 cents.
It takes a lot more pennies to buy a candy bar now, Zeke.
Yeah, but it only takes 1 penny for me to amaze you.
Really?
Oh yeah, I shall now make this penny disappear just by rubbing it.
Mm-hmm.
Observe. See?
You just
Gone.
made all those pennies fall off the table.
You have no sense of mystery.
Ah, but I do. I know how to amaze you with this penny.
How so?
I can make all this dirty tarnish disappear in a single step.
You're on.
Then, let's
do
do
it.
Step 1, find a really dark, dirty penny and place it in a dish.
Done.
Step 2, take out your super secret cleaning agent.
Hot sauce?
Yep, any kind will do. Squeeze some hot sauce on the penny and then rub it around.
What now?
Wait 10 minutes. Step 3, rub the penny with your fingers and then rinse it with water. See? Ta-da!
That is so cool. I can't believe it's the same penny.
I know, right?
Copper becomes dirty or tarnished when oxygen in the air reacts with the copper to form copper oxide. Hot sauce has vinegar, which contains acetic acid and salt, or sodium chloride. Both help to break the copper oxide free from the penny.
Double whammy.
The hot sauce wipes the dirt away like it was never there.
You know, my mom has this giant copper tub that's extremely tarnished. You think the hot sauce would work on it?
I mean, there is only one way to find out.
Ready?
Ready.
You know, I wonder how this tastes.
I don't think you want to taste that, Zeke.
Oh, is that a dare?
It's a double dare. Okay.
Oh, that's not half bad. Oh. Oh. Whoa, that's hot. Oh, that's hot. Whoa, oh, that's really hot.
Zeke, I would love some help.
Give me a moment. Moment of truth.
Moment of truth. It looks so different.
It's completely changing it.
Speaking of which, it's time for
The story before the story.
Today, we're in Luke, the 3rd book in the New Testament. But before Luke, in the very beginning, out of a deep, deep love, God made an amazing world.
But when people turned away from God, the world was broken.
God made a plan to draw people back into relationships. So at the right time, God made a teeny tiny baby to be born in the small town of Bethlehem, God's very own son, Jesus.
When Jesus grew up, he began to travel from town to town, teaching and healing. Everywhere Jesus went, big crowds of people pressed in around him. Religious leaders, everyday people, even Roman soldiers, and people who were considered outcasts.
Which is where our story starts.
Take it away.
Hey everyone, I'm Brian. One day, Jesus and his followers passed through the city of Jericho on their way to Jerusalem. As usual, a huge crowd gathered. They pressed in from all sides along the road, hoping to see Jesus, to touch him, to be healed. But one man was stuck on the edge of the crowd, a tax collector named Zaccheaus. Now, we know 3 things about Zaccheaus. He had a really hard to spell name, he had a lot of money, and he was super short, which meant he was basically getting run over by this crowd. Now, okay, you've got to understand about tax collectors, nobody liked them. And to be honest, it was for a good reason. Tax collectors were Jewish people who worked for the Roman government that was ruling over them. So it was like they were working for the enemy. And to make it worse, tax collectors got paid by demanding extra money for themselves. So Zaccheaus had gotten rich by taking money from his neighbors. In spite of all this, Zaccheaus really wanted a chance to see Jesus. Maybe he'd even heard that one of Jesus' own disciples, Matthew, had been a tax collector.
Please, could I get through?
But no one wanted to give way to the man who had taken their money. Finally, Zaccheaus looked ahead and saw a sycamore tree right at the edge of the road.
That's it?
Zaccheaus raced ahead to that tree and climbed right up to a sturdy branch that reached out over the road.
Best seat in the house.
The crowd drew closer and closer until Jesus was right below Zaccheaus.
There's just something about him.
At that very moment, Jesus looked up. Zaccheaus could feel his heart racing. He could tell that somehow Jesus knew everything about him, all the wrong things he had done, all the lies he had told, and the money he had stolen.
Zaccheaus, come down at once. I must stay at your house today.
What? Jesus could have been annoyed with Zaccheaus or called him out in front of everyone for the wrong things Zaccheaus had done. But instead, Jesus invited himself over to have dinner with Zaccheaus. Zaccheaus' heart filled with joy as he rushed ahead to prepare his home for Jesus.
Jesus, come in.
Lots of people had followed. They couldn't believe that Jesus would choose to hang out with somebody who had done so many wrong things.
Jesus has gone to be the guest of that sinner.
Zaccheaus was filled with gratitude. Jesus loved him and had chosen to forgive him. And Zaccheaus knew he couldn't keep on living his old life.
Look, Lord, here and now I give half of what I own to those who are poor. And if I have cheated anybody out of anything, I will pay it back. I will pay back 4 times the amount I took.
Today, salvation has come to your house. The Son of Man came to look for the lost and save them.
In a single day, Zaccheaus went from outcast to beloved follower of Jesus. His entire life was changed from the inside out. The end.
Wow, that's amazing.
So Zaccheaus promised to give away half of what he had.
Plus 4 times the amount that he cheated out of anyone.
That might have been everything he owned.
But it didn't matter because Jesus.
Jesus had forgiven Zaccheaus completely, even before he asked.
So what's our part in the story?
Well, forgiveness can change people, starting with you. When you ask God to forgive you of the wrong things you've done, it frees you from carrying around a load of guilt and fear. It frees you to love God and love others.
And when you choose to forgive those who have wronged you, it can change them too.
Like maybe your little brother borrows your video game without asking and messes it up. You could yell at him, get in a big argument, and stay mad for days.
Or you could choose to forgive your brother. Then you don't have to carry that anger.
Plus, it could change your brother's heart too and make a way for you to be friends.
Forgiving someone does not always mean that they will change, but it opens the door for them to live differently.
Like Zaccheaus.
Exactly.
Sharing God's forgiveness with others is a pretty incredible gift.
Sure is. See you next time.
So here's the thing. When you forgive others, it can change them.
And hot sauce. Hot sauce can change things too.
Now you're making me want some hot sauce.
Thanks for joining us in the Story Lab.
See you next time.
What's your first response when someone wrongs you? Do you shout out whatever pops in your head? Hey, look where you're going! Or maybe you keep your mouth shut and just give them a glare that could wilt daisies. You might even spend your afternoon thinking up creative ways to get back at them. I could totally empty the ketchup bottle and put in hot sauce, and they'll totally burn their mouth when they eat a burger. Yeah. When you get hurt, It's really easy to hold on to the pain, sometimes for days or months or even years. You just want to see them pay for what they did. But it's like allowing a bad seed to take root. And if you don't dig out the hurt, it can turn into deeply rooted bitterness. Trouble is, holding on to pain doesn't hurt them. It hurts you. That's where forgiveness comes in. Forgiveness is deciding that someone who has wronged you doesn't have to pay. It is not saying that what that person did is okay, but it says that you're giving payback to God. Forgiveness is a decision and also a process. Sometimes you have to give the situation back to God over and over. But when you trust God for strength to forgive and root out bitterness, you make room for beautiful things to grow. Things like peace, joy, and compassion. And the very first step, ask God to wipe away the wrong things you've done. God will always forgive. Then you can pass that same forgiveness on to those around you. That's why forgiveness is an amazing way to worship God with your life. Because worship is about more than just singing loud. It's all about living loud.
Hey, John. Great morning, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, it has been the perfect morning and maybe the best I've ever had. I mean, everything went right. I got up right when my alarm went off. You know, I didn't even have to hit snooze. Yeah, and when I brushed my teeth, I had the perfect amount of toothpaste. It was great. Oh, I picked out my shirt and I didn't even have to iron it.
Oh.
I had a balanced breakfast. I read my Bible, did a little exercise, and on the way over here, I hit every single green light. Can you believe it? I'm telling you, man, it was perfect.
Sure you're not forgetting anything?
What do you mean? Oh, man.
Hey, everybody, I'm John.
I'm Brandon, and welcome to the So-and-So Show.
We got a special surprise on the show today, but this time it's a different kind of surprise.
Yeah, normally we like to surprise you or each other, but today we've got a surprise for our guests.
Yes.
So without further ado...
Oh, and please don't spoil the surprise.
Oh, yeah, no.
Just act natural.
Please welcome someone who knows stuff. Charmaine.
Come on in.
It's great to be back.
No.
And for all of our new viewers out there, please tell us who you are and what you know.
I'm Charmaine, and I know a lot about music because I'm a singer.
And a great one at that.
So what have you been up to lately? Do you have any new songs or anything?
Oh, always. Do you want to hear my latest work in progress?
I don't know. Let me think. Yes, please. Oh, great.
Backup music.
Hey, yeah. You've got this. It's a new day. No need to be afraid. Just be brave. Be brave. Look up at the sky and say, I am on my way. I am on my way.
That's awesome. I love it.
Oh, yeah. Thanks. You want to hear another one?
Okay, yes, we do. But first, we actually have a little surprise for you.
Oh, okay, really?
All right, hold on to your hat.
She's not wearing one.
All right, yeah. Please welcome someone else who knows stuff. Surprise!
Surprise!
I didn't know there would be another guest on the show today.
Oh, that's why it's a surprise, and not just any other guest. It's your friend, Charmaine. Come on in. Have a seat. Let me just get this closed. Okay. Tell us who you are and what you know.
My name is Sheila, and I know all about music because I am a singer.
That's exactly what Charmaine said.
Of course it is.
I'm sorry. Is there something wrong? What's up with you two? I thought that you sang together.
You're right. We did sing together. Not anymore.
What happened?
Don't look at me. I'm not the one who hired all new backup singers without even talking to her singing partner.
Well, at least I didn't purposefully mess up during a live performance in order to make my singing partner look bad.
I did not.
Yes, you did, and you know it.
This is why I stopped working with you. You're impossible.
I'm impossible. Me? The only thing impossible here is your ability to hit the high note.
You did not mean that.
Fine. No, I didn't. Your vocal range is perfection.
Thank you. So is yours.
Do you want to talk about this in private?
No. We don't need to talk at all.
But you're the best duo, though. The local paper called your voices a duet whose voices so perfectly weave together you could wear their harmonies like your grandmother's hand-woven blanket.
Yeah, that was a weird review.
Well, it was nice, but who wears music like a blanket?
What do you say? Will you sing one of your hit songs together for us? I mean, for old time's sake?
I don't want to perform with someone who wants to make me look bad on purpose.
And I don't want to perform with someone who doesn't know how to collaborate or ask for my input.
Well, we did say we wouldn't talk it out, but maybe I'd be willing to sing it out.
Okay, fine. Let's do it.
It hurt my feelings when you made me look bad. I trusted you, but now I feel like I can't.
It's hard to say, but easier to sing. I'm sorry I did that. It was not cool of me. I'm sorry, Charmaine. I really am. I was just insecure because you were outshining me, but that was really awful of me to do to you. I promise I won't mess up on purpose again.
Thanks, Sheila. I forgive you. I owe you an apology, too. Well, you were supposed to be partners, and I didn't even ask for your input on backup singers. Do you forgive me?
Of course.
Oh, that was awesome.
The power of music.
So, you guys still want to hear us sing one of our hits together?
Yes.
Never know what today will bring, a new friend or a new beginning. I'm gonna make the best of today.
Gonna dream up something good. Gonna shine my light and trust that everything will be alright.
That was awesome. Are you all right?
That felt just like grandmother's hand-woven blanket.
Oh, it feels so good to sing together again.
Well, it sure did. I think we've got one song left in us today. You guys want to join us?
Oh,
Absolutely.
No, okay.
Bible story time with Kellen.
Oh, I'm glad I sang.
You were a little...
What?
Just a...
Awesome?
Hey, fellas.
Hey, Kellen. What you got for us today, my friend?
Well, today we have a story about Jesus from the book of Luke. You see, Jesus traveled from town to town with his friends and his disciples. He taught all about God's kingdom and did all kinds of amazing miracles. One day, he traveled through a place called Jericho, and that's where our story begins.
Can I help you tell the story, Kellen?
Sure. What exactly do you have in mind?
You'll find out.
Okay, looks promising. Here we go. Like I said, Jesus was passing through Jericho. A man named Zaccheaus lived there. You see, Zaccheaus was an important tax collector and was very rich.
Here you go.
Well, actually, Zaccheaus was really short.
Oh.
And he probably didn't have many friends or people who were really happy to see him.
Oh.
Because in that time, tax collectors were really greedy and often stole from the people they collected taxes from. So, people did not like him.
Okay. How about this?
Yeah, that seems about right.
Cool. Keep going.
Zaccheaus wanted to see who Jesus was. He probably heard stories about him, the way Jesus healed people of diseases, or how his teachings always blew everyone's mind. Maybe he even heard about how one of Jesus' disciples, Matthew, had been a tax collector too. But as usual, Jesus was surrounded by a large crowd of people. And since Zaccheaus was short, he couldn't see over the crowd. So Zaccheaus climbed a sycamore fig tree so that he could see Jesus.
Is that a palm tree?
What?
It's a coconut.
No!
That's more like it.
Sweet! Like a fig.
Good one.
What happened next, Kellen?
When Jesus reached the spot where Zaccheaus was, he looked up at him and said, "Zaccheaus, come down at once. I must stay at your house today." So Zaccheaus came down from the tree at once and welcomed Jesus into his home gladly.
The end!
Whoa, slow down. That is not the end of the story.
It's not?
Nope.
Oh,
Nice. Now, remember what I said earlier about how people felt about tax collectors? They were not well liked. So the crowd was not a fan of Jesus going to Zaccheaus' house. They started whispering to each other how they didn't approve. They said, "Jesus has gone to be the guest of a sinner."
Man, it's not fun when people talk about you behind your back.
Not at all. Zaccheaus stood up and he said, "Look, Lord, here and now I give half of what I own to those who are poor. And if I have cheated anybody out of anything, I will pay it back. I will pay back 4 times the amount I took."
wow, that's a big deal.
It sure was. It could have been everything Zaccheaus had. But what mattered to Zaccheaus was that he now had Jesus as a friend and Lord. Jesus said to him, "Today salvation has come to your house."
Hold on, one more. Okay.
Now that's the end of the story.
Thanks, Kellen.
And thank you for the drawings. That was great.
I know.
It's so amazing that even though Zaccheaus had stolen from his neighbors, Jesus was still kind to him and wanted to spend time with him.
Jesus could have told Zaccheaus a list of all the things that he needed to change about himself. But instead, Jesus simply showed him love, acceptance, and forgiveness. And that changed Zaccheaus completely.
Forgiveness is a pretty powerful thing, huh?
No doubt about it. I'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye, Kellen.
Wow.
I love that Jesus wasn't worried about his reputation or what other people thought of him.
I love that Zaccheaus was changed because of what Jesus did.
Exactly, because we've all done things that we know we shouldn't do. We've all sinned.
Yeah, and I'm always so thankful when people forgive me.
Yeah, me too.
Hey, you know what? Reveal the question.
When has someone forgiven you?
Could be a parent or sibling.
Or a teacher or a friend.
You know, I remember one time when my bus driver forgave me.
Oh, I'd love to hear that story.
Who wouldn't?
Maybe you've experienced something similar to what Charmaine and Sheila went through earlier today. When they forgave each other, it allowed them to be friends so they could sing together again.
Yeah, it can be really memorable because it means so much when people forgive us. So, when has someone forgiven you? Talk it out and we'll see you next time. I'm John.
And I'm Brandon, and this was the So-and-So Show.
Yeah, it was. I'm going to draw something else. I'm going to draw us at the desk.
Oh, good.
There is me. There is you. Happy smiley face. Happy smiley face. I was really inspired by your beautiful song about how you forgave each other. So I wrote a song that is about when the bus driver forgave me.
Oh, good. I wanted to hear this.
Everybody. And then we come in. The bus driver forgave me! He said, don't do that again! But you are my friend! And I will forgive you until the next time you do something like that! And you won't have to go to the principal's house! Yeah! Yeah! Come on, come on the seat!
Everything I want, everything I need, you are. When nobody else is listening to me, you are. Before my heart took its first beat, you already loved me, Lord. And in your kindness, you saved me. You're all that I'm living for. Oh, amazing is the way you give your life away, so I could be alive forever. I want the world to know, I want my life to show the never-ending love of my Savior. I wanna live your love. I wanna live your love. Ooh. Everywhere I go, always there with me, you are. No matter what may come, the strength that I need, you are. You are. Before my heart took its first beat, you already loved me, Lord. And in your kindness, you saved me. You're all that I'm living for. Oh, whoa. Amazing is the way you give your life away, so I could be alive forever. I want the world to know, I want my life to show the never-ending love of my Savior. I wanna live your love. I wanna live your love. Ooh. Your love is the reason I'm free. I'm forgiven and singing. Your love is the reason I'm free. I'm forgiven and singing. Your love is the reason I'm free. I'm forgiven and singing. Amazing is the way you give your life away, so I could be alive forever. I want the world to know, I want my life to show the never-ending love of my Savior. I wanna live your love. I wanna live your love.
When God forgives us, it changes us from the inside out. The same can be true when you forgive others. You never know what can happen when you take the first step towards forgiveness. When you decide to reach out and offer forgiveness, it can change the way the other person sees you, the situation, and the impact of their actions. Tune in next week to learn more about forgiveness. See you later, Brave Kids!